Hello, this is the Homeless Educator. I wanted to talk to you about part of the problems we're having in, for-profit schools. ITT just closed this last week, and they left 35,000 students stranded without the capability of finishing their degree. Unfortunately, for this for-profit school, which is nationally accredited, the courses that they have earned college credit for are not transferable to state or private schools in the regionally accredited. Now, the differences in accreditation is national accreditation is the least accredited. It's like the bronze of accreditation. Regionally accreditation is like the gold standard that all the state universities and private universities such as USC and a variety of other schools have. Now, the project I've been working on, World Mentoring Academy, prepares students for credit by examination, which is accepted by regionally accredited universities. So this message is to all the ITTs of the world and other for-profit schools that are on the verge of perhaps going bankrupt and leaving students stranded. I've been watching a lot of videos that are out there on the internet, probably 20 or 30 of them, and they were all complaining about, what a sham ITT is and blah, 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 but no solutions, none, nada. So I'm going to give a couple of solutions. I've been in this particular business of developing educational content for well over 7 years, and let me tell you a couple of things that you may or may not know. One thing about the future of education is going to look drastically different than it does today. The for-profit schools that are just trying to, in the business, not necessarily because of any kind of feeling towards humanity of education. They're looking at it for profit, and sometimes they're listed on the stock exchange. And so they have to have these quarterlies of showing profit no matter what. And so they tend to, play screwy with the decks. So we're not going to go into that, all the corruption and scam that goes there, and the unethical, books that are going on. But what I'm going to talk to you about is how students can get through this jungle of misfit and stop going for these scams. Okay, let's start with transferring credit. Now, if you're a ITT student up till from say May 5th to today, last week, you can actually get the federal government to forgive all of your student debt if you don't transfer your credits. Now, what I would advise in that situation is that means like starting all over again, like going to 2 more years of college. Well, if you've already got the training, in these courses, there's 2 different options that you can do and still get paid back for the student debt. One option is to take credit by examination. Now, those are the APs, the CLEPs, the DSSTs, the NYUs, and all that stuff. There's several hundred of those. And the Cisco CCNA 1, 2, 3, 4, A+, N+, and all the computer science, network type stuff, Linux, all that stuff. Those particular tests you can take, and they are exempted from the disqualifying you for getting your debt forgiven. You can take those tests, which are usually $80 to $90 for the APs and the CLEPs, and then the DSST is about $90, and various different fees for other ones. And those particular tests, you can go in and take an hour-and-a-half test, and you're finished. So let's say if you had a class, in your general ed at ITT, what you can do is then take the test, refresh first of all, and then take the test. That way you can still get regionally accredited state universities, and you don't have, the counselors from these different universities kind of snicker at you for going to ITT. Now, the project I'm working on is completely free, no government intervention, and no venture capital, no government money, no religious money. Just basically, kind of like a Bernie type of a campaign where people donate. Although not a lot of donations, because I kind of live a life of Buddha and Jesus. I'm really not in this to enrich myself, but to enrich the world, and I've been doing it for 7 years, and I will continue doing it for 7 to 20 years. Who knows? Every once in a while, I do get a little bit upset because people are, panhandlers make more in a couple of hours than people donate in a whole month, and I have 30,000 students. Okay. Anyway, getting off subject. What we do is we have the courses that you can take for free to refresh some of those courses that you might have forgotten, so that you're prepared to take the test and pass the test successfully. We support over 200 courses, including all the CCNAs and all that stuff like that. Once you get these units, you can then go and apply to a state regionally accredited state university out of New Jersey called Thomas Edison. They will take all the units, transfers, community college, up to 80 units, and get your bachelor's. And once you get a bachelor's from Thomas Edison, you can literally go to any other university as long as you qualify scholastically and letters of recommendations and things of that nature. You could even go to Harvard if you have enough credentials. Anyway, I thought that it was important that you look at World Mentoring Academy, and also edX. edX is a MOOC like mine, which was started 3 years after me by Harvard and MIT. I hope you've heard of those schools. And they do stand behind their lectures, their textbooks, and all that types of stuff. And they have courses that are APs. So look it up in their menu selection. APs you may not be able to take because you're not in high school, but what you can do is you can use the education you have for the CLEPs from the College Board as well. So for instance, if you have a college algebra AP class from the edX, you can take the CLEP. They're from the same organization, just different test, same material. Anyway, I hope this helps you. Make any comments, any questions you might have. I can answer any of the ITT students' problems and solutions, and I have no vested interest in any community college, state school, or whatnot. And I'm definitely in this because I believe that I'm a servant of humanity and not a servant of the government or of any other group. Thank you very much for switching in the Homeless Educator. Please like and share and get the word out to all the ITT. There are solutions. You can get your debt forgiven by the government and not lose time by taking these tests and continue your education, get a degree that you can build something from, perhaps even later on in life decide to go for a master's, and have people stop snickering at you when you say you went to ITT. That applies to Phoenix Online and any other university that might be on a questionable financial footing. Thank you very much. This is a Homeless Educator.